Welcome everyone to India's largest learning platform, Unacademy. You can subscribe to Unacademy and become a part of Unacademy family. There are various benefits of Unacademy subscription. For example, you can attend daily live classes. These classes are quite interesting. They are engaging. You can ask your doubts. Answer polls are conducted through which you can see your performance or ranking. Also, the courses of Unacademy are structured, properly planned. Live tests and quizzes are also conducted. You can evaluate your performance through quiz and test. You also get unlimited access to the platform through which you can see live and recorded courses. Now, after subscription, you can attend courses of top educators like Mrunal Patel sir, Roman Saini sir, and other 100 plus top educators. For UPSC CSE subscription, Unacademy has got various subscription plans. You can go for 1 month to 36 months. So from 1 month to 3 year subscription plans are available. It is generally advisable that you should go for 1 year, 2 year or 3 year subscription because it takes time to cover the entire syllabus. So 12-month subscription is 49,500 rupees, 24 month is 72,000 and 36 month is 90,000 rupees. But you can use my code AJ01 and get 10% off. You can also go for Iconic subscription. Iconic subscription is a customized package of Unacademy under which you get one-to-one mentorship. Iconic subscription is available in 1 year, 2 year and 3 year. 1 year fees is 69500, 2 year 1,07,000 and 3 year is 1,41,000. Use my code AJ01, get 10% off on Iconic subscription. Also, there is an introductory offer before 31st October 2020 if you subscribe to Unacademy, and if you take 1 year 12-month subscription, you get optional courses free of cost. You don't have to pay anything else for optional. So in GS subscription you are getting optional free. It is valid up to only 31st October. You have to pay 49,500 rupees. After 31st October, GS plus optional you have to pay 77,000 rupees. Also use code AJ01 to get 10% discount on this subscription scheme also. So if you are planning to subscribe to Unacademy, subscribe because 31st before 31st October, so that you will get optional subscription free of cost. There are 14 plus 4 literature optionals which are presently being offered on Unacademy. So you can see the list of optional and subscribe to Unacademy. Subscription fee for optional 1 month is 5,000 rupees. For 12 month it is 27,500. 2 year 40,000 and 3 year 50,000 rupees. Use code AJ01, get 10% off. My name is Ashpal Janva, qualified for UPSC mains 2 times, RS exam finally qualified 3 times, 3 to 5 years of teaching experience. Join me on my Telegram channel unacademy_Ashpal and follow me on Unacademy. Now we are in live essay writing sessions, and we are writing live philosophical or abstract essay during the class itself. It is session number 2. Session 1 has already been conducted. So those who are new to the class, they can go and see that session 1 class on philosophical and abstract essay. After this class, we are going to write general topic essay. We will have two classes tomorrow, class 1, and the day after tomorrow, second class on general topic essay will also be there. So attend those classes as well. So without wasting much time on anything else, since we have covered theory already in detail, so I'm starting our essay topic. Now we can check the essay topic. Our ability to reach unity in diversity will be the beauty and the test of our civilization. We have to write our essay on this particular abstract topic, and we will write a detailed essay on this particular topic. Those who are present in the class, they can explain the meaning of essay in comment section. What you get from the topic of essay: our ability to reach unity in diversity will be beauty and test of our civilization. So basically the essay topic is talking about unity in diversity. So if we are able to sustain unity and diversity, so that will be test of our civilization. If we are able to successful in retaining our unity and diversity, so we will be a successful civilization. That is part of that is our essay topic. Now in introduction of essay, basically it is an essay on unity in diversity. So suggest me some nice introduction which I can use in my essay topic. Suggest me some good introduction, any good quotation, anecdote, phrase, any example. If it is coming in your mind, suggest me, or otherwise I will start with my example. So let us start today. Let us start the introduction. Now I'm going to write my essay with an anecdote. I don't know whether you heard about this particular anecdote or not, but it is a popular anecdote. It is about the amalgamation of Zoroastrian or Persian people into India. So I'm going to write this particular anecdote. There was a king of Gujarat. The name of king was Jade Rana or Jaidev Singh Rana. Now at the time of King Jade Rana or Jaidev Singh Rana, the Zoroastrian people came to India. Why they came to India? Because the religious persecution of Zoroastrian people, because of religious persecution of Zoroastrian people, they came to India. Now they decided to take shelter in Gujarat. Now Jade Rana was the king of Gujarat. So when these Zoroastrian people reached to the court of the king, they requested him to let them stay in Gujarat. But king offered or king presented a vessel full of milk to these Zoroastrian people. Now a vessel full of milk, it was an indication that there is no more though there is no more space for outsider. So the vessel was presented to Zoroastrian people, indicating that yes, we do not have more space for outsider. If you will come, then the vessel which is already full with the milk, if we pour more milk into the vessel, it will it won't be able to occupy the more milk. So there was a Persian priest or Zoroastrian priest. He came with a pinch of sugar and added to vessel or added to hello DJ added to milk and started explaining that we Zoroastrian people, if we are given a space to live in Gujarat, so we won't be we would amalgamate like sugar without occupying much space, and we will become part and parcel of Gujarat. The king was very happy with the wisdom of Persian priest or Zoroastrian priest, and finally he permitted the Zoroastrian people to stay in Gujarat. This was a popular anecdote. You can start your essay with this particular anecdote. Let me quickly recap whatever we have discussed. There was a king of Gujarat. His name was Jade Rana or Jaidev Singh Rana. Now Zoroastrian people which were facing religious persecution, they came to India. Now when they reached to court of the king, they requested the king that give us some space to live. But king presented a vessel full of milk, indicating that there is no more space in our state for outsider. Now there was a wise Persian priest or Zoroastrian priest. He came with a pinch of sugar added to milk and said that, sir, this vessel will not be we will amalgamate in Gujarat like sugar, adding more, making milk more tasteful without occupying much space. Now, by seeing his wisdom, the king permitted Zoroastrian people to stay in Gujarat. That was the story. So, we can start with such anecdote. It is a powerful anecdote and popular anecdote. You can start your essay with this. Now, moving forward further in second para, thus Indian culture amalgamated Persian people also. But the story is not only limited to Persians. India has a long tradition of amalgamating various outsiders or even and invaders, be it Greek, Romans, Bactrian, Muslim invaders, and other outsiders. So the story is not limited to these Zoroastrian people. Time and again, we have a long tradition of amalgamation of various cultures in India, be it outsider or invaders. Greek, Roman, Bactrian, Muslim invaders, they have came to India. They time and again they came to India, and finally, rather than imposing their culture, they became part and parcel of Indian society. So you can write your second para like this, that not only Persian people but other outsiders and invaders came to India, and this line is clearly written in NCERT that these people, rather than they impose their culture, they adopted the domestic culture, they adopted culture of India and became part and parcel of Indian society. So you can say that these people were they readily accepted the Indian society, Indian culture. These stories of rich amalgamation, these stories of rich amalgamation of various cultures provides us an opportunity to explore the unity in diversity of India. Let us examine whether this diversity is a boon or bane to India. So you are saying that there are various stories of amalgamation, so it provides us an opportunity to explore the unity and diversity aspect of India. So we are going to examine that whether this diversity is a beneficial for India or it is not beneficial for India. So next para, before exploring diversity and its dimensions, first let us understand what the diversity is. So before going into much detail, first we need to understand the meaning of diversity. So let us understand the meaning. What you have done so far? You have started writing with an anecdote, a popular story of a king of Gujarat and Zoroastrian people. After writing this particular story in your introduction, you came to second para and you told that not only Zoroastrian and Persian people, there were other people, other outsiders who also become part and parcel of Indian society. Those people who came to India, rather than imposing their culture on India, they become part and parcel of our society. Next, you are saying that such stories of amalgamation, they are providing us an opportunity to explore the rich diversity of India. So let us examine this diversity and let us examine whether this diversity is good for us or bad for us. But before exploring diversity of India and its various dimensions, let us understand the meaning of diversity. Because in abstract essay, whatever terms is given in your essay topic, you also have to define that particular term. So we are going to understand the meaning of diversity. The meaning of word diversity is as diverse as the meaning of word diversity is as diverse as its spelling or its pronunciation. So you want to say that it is difficult to define, and it becomes difficult for you to find a definition standard and uniform definition of diversity. So because this diversity is having diverse meaning, so it is difficult to define. So it becomes difficult for anyone to have a standard and uniform definition of diversity. So let us understand diversity by its features rather than understanding or rather than defining diversity, which is difficult because you won't be able to come at a standard and uniform definition. So rather than defining it, you will see its features. So features of diversities are: first, understanding the uniqueness and differences. First feature is you first have to understand the uniqueness and differences of various parts of the society. What are various parts of society? Caste, religion, customs, traditions, races, and other parts. So first you have to understand it is the first feature of diversity. Second, recognition of differences. First you have to understand that different parts of society, be it caste, religion, various races, they are unique and different from each other. First part. Second part, you have to give recognition to that understanding. So that is second feature of diversity. What we are doing, we are trying to define diversity. Now third part, once you have understood, you have given recognition, then you will give acceptance and tolerance. So that is third feature of diversity. What you have done, first you have to understand that there are uniqueness and differences between various parts of society. Various castes are unique, they are different from each other. Religion are unique, different from each other. Races are unique, different from each other. Then you have to recognize these differences, and at the end you have to give your acceptance, and you have to be tolerant to the differences. So that will be, in that way you can explain that what diversity is. So let us see what we have done so far, what we have written so far. First, we have written an anecdote. It is always a good idea to start your introduction with an anecdote, especially in philosophical essay. So I found an anecdote and I wrote the anecdote, the story of Jade Rana, a king of Gujarat and Zoroastrian people. After writing this anecdote, in anecdote we talked about Persian or Zoroastrian people. Now in next para, I talked about that not only Persian people, there were many other people who came to India as outsiders or as invaders. Now these people, Greek, Roman, Bactrian, Muslim invaders, rather than imposing their culture, they become part and parcel of Indian culture. Also, they added elements of their own culture to Indian society. So that is the richness of Indian culture. There various people are coming, they are adding elements of their culture to Indian culture. Now, this amalgamation is offering us to explore more about unity and diversity of India. So let us examine. Now here you are giving hint that we need to examine that whether this diversity is good for us or bad for us. Now before that examination, we want to understand the meaning of diversity. So in this para, you told that is this word is difficult to define because it would not be possible to arrive at a standard and uniform definition. So rather than arriving at a definition, let us see features of diversity. First feature is you have to understand this various parts of society are different from each other, they are unique, they are different. Understanding. Second, you have to give recognition to that understanding. Third, after giving recognition, finally you have to accept. If you have accepted the differences and uniqueness, you are living in a diverse society, which is tolerant to different ideas. So that is, we have come this far. Now we will explore. Now you have understood what the diversity is. Now let us explore various dimensions of diversity in India. So tell me about diversity, which are dimension of diversity. First will be religious diversity, or right in capital. So let us explore religious diversity of India. Now what you are going to write? India is birthplace of four major religions. Which religions were born in India? Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. So these four major religions of the world, they were born in India. Also, India is home to other prominent religions. Which other religions are there in India? Muslim, Zoroastrian, Christianity, etc. So four religions were born in India. Also three more religions, we people of these three religions we also found in India. So there are 7 or 8 religions in India. So obviously there is a religious diversity in India. This religious diversity is found in India from ancient time. How religious diversity in India from ancient time? If you know various kind of philosophy, so there were various schools of thought: theist and atheist school of thought. One school of thought which believed in God, another school of thought which did not believe in God. So Astic philosophy was Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika. Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Vedant, and Mimamsa. These six philosophical tradition believed in existence of God, but there were Gnostic philosophy as well, which did not believe in God, like Charvak, Jainism, Buddhism. So from ancient India, we have a rich tradition of respecting religious diversity. Now, in ancient India, which we not only understood and recognized, but also accepted the diversity of various kind of religious diversity. So we have got a rich tradition of religious diversity. Also, there was there is diversity in religion in terms of various kind of gods, how they preach to do through to the god, method of moksha or nirvana. All religions have got different gods. Method of preaching is different. The path of salvation is different. So this rich tradition is part and parcel of Indian society from ancient time, and it got enriched from medieval and modern time. Now, along with, so that is religious diversity of India. Now we will talk about challenges to the religious diversity. Now, what are the challenges to religious diversity? So, what we are going to do, we are going to talk about various dimensions. First dimension is religious diversity, and we will also talk about challenges of religious diversity. Then we will take another dimension, for example, caste diversity and challenges of caste diversity, geographical diversity, challenges of geographical diversity, racial diversity, challenges to racial diversity. We will talk in this manner. So challenges to religious diversity. Now throw some points about challenges to religious diversity, how religious diversity is challenged. First is communal politics. It is a great challenge to religious diversity. Politics of religious hatred, communalization, religious polarization, religious conversion, religious conflict. So these are several challenges to religious diversity of India. What? Communal politics, politics of religious hatred, communalization, religious polarization, conversion, religious conversion. Hindus are being converted into Muslim, Muslims are being converted into Hindu, Hindus are being converted into Christian. So this kind of conversion, religious conflict between Hindu and Muslim, Hindu and Christian, and various communities, though that conflict is also a challenge to religious diversity of India. So first dimension of diversity is religious diversity. We also talking about challenges to it. Second dimension, let us talk about racial diversity. What is racial diversity? People of various races or humans of various races are living in India, like Negrito. Negritos are mainly found in South India and Andaman and Nicobar. We also found Proto Australioids, Mongoloids, Mediterranean, and more. So people of various races, be it Negritos, Proto Australioids, Mongoloids, Mediterranean, this kind of various races are found in India. Now, what are the challenges to the racial diversity? For example, the people of treatment, with the Northeast Indian. Many time you might have heard that some there is discrimination with people of Northeast India. People are calling them Chinese or Korean, but they are very much part and parcel of India. So such practices are challenges to racial diversity of India. So we have covered two dimension: religious diversity and challenges, racial diversity and challenges. Now moving forward, there is also caste diversity in India. Then we will talk about challenges to caste diversity. What is caste? First of all, there was Chaturvarna system where Brahman, Vaishya, Kshatriya and Shudra. These were four varnas based on occupation. This Chaturvarna system, which was based on occupation, later become rigid, and also the basis was shifted from occupation to birth, and it became caste system. So the original system was not based on birth, it was not rigid, it was only based on occupation, but later some people with vested interest, they make this system rigid and make it on the basis of birth, and then it gave to birth to caste system. There are various castes, there are also subcaste, various gotras, and many such classifications. So we have got many castes in India, so that is caste diversity. Now this is found in Hinduism, but later this caste system was also adopted by Muslims, even by Christians. So caste system is not only found in Hindu but also in Muslim and Christians. So there is caste diversity in India. Now let us talk about challenges to caste diversity. What will be the challenges? First of all, politics. So caste based politics, reservation, treatment made to untouchable, conflict between upper caste and lower caste. People of upper caste assume themselves as superior, and they assume people of lower caste as inferior. People of lower class are not permitted to enter into temples. Previously they were not permitted. So these are some of the challenges. Also regionalization, that a particular region having a majority caste has become a separate region. So regionalization is against national integration. Now let us take a recent example. Protest by Patel community or Patel caste in Gujarat for reservation. Marathas in Maharashtra. These are some of the example which are challenges to caste diversity of India. So third dimension was caste diversity. Initially we have Chatur Varnashram, where Brahman, Vaishya, Kshatri and Shudra, these were four Varnas. They were based on occupation. Later they got rigid. They become birth based. Then caste system came into practice. They were caste, subcaste, various gotras. They were adopted by Muslims and Christians. So various kind of caste are found in India. Now challenges: caste based politics. Politicians are promoting caste based politics. Reservation politics of reservation. Untouchable treatment made to untouchable people, upper caste and lower caste. Regionalization like Patel protest for reservation, Maratha in Maharashtra. Now let us explore more dimensions of the diversity of Indian culture. So can you suggest me some more dimensions? Linguistic diversity. Various languages are spoken in India, so there is linguistic diversity. Now it is said that in India at every 4 miles there is new dialect. Indian Constitution, 8th schedule, there are 20 languages which are recognized by Indian Constitution, but there are many languages, बोलियां, local dialects. So we have got linguistic diversity in India. Various kind of languages are spoken here. Now let us talk about challenges to linguistic diversity. What are the challenges to linguistic diversity? Let us talk an example of linguistic provinces. If you have read history of India, there was a popular protest in 1953 where 40 Shiramullu, he went on fast unto death because he wanted a separate Andhra, and after his death there was a widespread protest, especially in South India, and that led to birth of linguistic provinces. So many linguistic provinces were given birth like Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. So it is a now provinces set up on the basis of language. They are in some way a threat to national integration. Also, one nation, one language formula. Since India has various languages and there are many states of India which do not speak Hindi, now you cannot have a one nation, one language formula. So that is also a challenge. Hindi as official language. Since Hindi is not spoken in many states of India, so it becomes difficult to adopt Hindi as official language. So other states are given as option of adopting English. Also, time and again, since Constitution of India 8th schedule is having only 22 languages, so time and again there have been attempt or even protest for inclusion of more languages into 8th schedule. That is also a challenges. So there are various challenges to linguistic diversity. What is linguistic diversity? Various languages are spoken in India. We have got many languages, boliyan, local dialects, and language change after every 4 miles. 8th schedule there are 22 languages. Challenges: linguistic provinces 1953, reorganization India on the basis of language. Though the language was not sole parameter, there were other parameters, but the protest was solely the protest was born out of the protest on the basis of linguistic provinces. Also, one nation, one language formula is difficult to implement in India since Hindi is not spoken in many states. There have been protest and attempt for inclusion of more languages into 8th schedule, so that is also a challenges. So we have talked about four challenges, four kind of diversity. Now let us move forward. India is also having family diversity. What is family diversity? Now in majority of India we have patriarchal family, but in some part, in some tribes, there is also matriarchal based family. For example, Khasi tribe of Meghalaya, also Nayar in Kerala, or you might find some example in history as well where the family is based on matriarchal tradition. So there is diversity in family. You can also talk about joint family, nuclear family. Recently, LGBT community is also given a recognition. So family based on LGBT. Now in LGBT, all the family members are of one particular sex preferences. They may be in our family there are male and female. In LGBT community there is third gender. So there is diversity in family as well. So now we will talk about challenges to family diversity. Now what will be the challenges? For example, rights of women, rights of LGBT community. Now this community is recently given some right, but recently they have given some rights, but their condition has not been improved yet. There is huge scope for improvement for LGBT community. So you can talk about these challenges. Recently, since there have been a tradition of nuclear family, so it is again a threat to societal tradition or basic societal fabric, because traditionally we are living in joint families. Now we are living in nuclear families, so it becomes difficult for family members to adjust with each other. So these are certain challenges you can talk about. We can also talk about geographical diversity. What is geographical diversity? We have mountains or hills, plain, plateau, also valley, forest, desert, coastal region. So there is diversity in geography. You can also talk about climatic diversity, where some regions which have cold climate, some has warm climate. Coastal regions, they have uniform climate. Diversity of soil, diversity of rainfall. Some regions are receiving heavy rainfall, some are receiving lesser rainfall. There is also a rainfall by retreating monsoon on eastern coast. So there is various geographical diversity. Now let us talk about challenges. What will be the challenges to geographical diversity? First challenge will be regional disparity, because for example Northeast India, Northeast India is geographically a difficult region. It is hilly region, mountainous region, or geography is a bit difficult in comparison to other part of India. So the development of Northeast India is not up to the mark. So there is regional disparity. You can also talk about tribal rights. Generally, tribes are living in regions of difficult geography, so they are lagging behind in terms of development. So these are some challenges. Now we can also talk about more dimension like political diversity. What is political diversity? There is there are left wing political parties, for example BJP. There are right wing political parties, for example CPI. There are regional parties, there are national parties. So various kind of political diversity is also found in India. Now political diversity has also got its challenges. For example, political vendetta, misuse of power by political party in power, national party versus regional party, misuse of president rule, misuse of CBI, police, army, imposition of national emergency, imposition of president rule. So these are various challenges to political diversity of India. So we have covered various dimensions of diversity of India. Now let us talk about why diversity of India is a boon. So obviously diversity is helpful in economic growth. Diversity is helpful in social growth. It is helpful in cultural growth. Helpful in intellectual growth. Political growth and many other areas. So it is very much uh, it contributes in all sphere of life. Then you can move for conclusion. Now you can write a quotation in conclusion that unity, not uniformity, must be our aim. We attain unity through variety. Differences must be integrated, not annihilated, not absorbed. MP Follett, Mary Parker Follett. She is, if you have read about public administration, she is a leading thinker in public administration. So she has given a quotation, MP Follett, unity, not uniformity, must be our aim. We attain unity only through variety. Differences must be integrated, not annihilated, not absorbed. So in this way, you can write your conclusion. Now let us quickly recap what we have written so far, what we have done so far. So that you can get an entire glimpse of our essay, how we have started. Now we started with an anecdote to explain how India has a rich tradition of unity and diversity. So we talked a story of Jade Rana, which was king of Gujarat, and amalgamation of Zoroastrian people in Indian culture. Example of sugar and milk. Sugar become part of milk and also adding taste to the milk. So that was the story. Then next para we talked about not only about Persian people but also many other outsider and invader like Greek, Roman, Bactrian, Muslim invaders. They also become part and parcel of India. They adopted Indian culture and tradition. They also added their culture and tradition and enhances the value of Indian culture. Now since we have got many stories, so these stories are providing us opportunity to explore various dimensions and whether this diversity is good for us or bad. So before exploring diversity, we try to understand what diversity is. So meaning of diversity difficult to define because it won't be possible to arrive at a standard and uniform definition. So we try to understand diversity by looking at its feature. So understanding uniqueness and differences. Second, recognition of these differences. And third, acceptance and tolerance to the differences is basically diversity is. Now we looked at various dimensions of diversity. For example, first we took religious diversity. India is birthplace to 4 religions. We also have Muslim, Zoroastrian and Christianity in India. So we have got various religious diversity from ancient India. We had Astic and Nastic philosophies. So there is huge diversity. Now challenges. communal based politics, politics of religious hatred, communalization, polarization, religious conversion, religious conflict. These are some of the challenges. Second, racial diversity. Racial diversity is various human races are living in India. For example, Negrito, Proto, Australoid, Mongoloids, Mediterranean and other races. Now challenges, for example, ill treatment made with the people of Northeast India. Caste diversity, third dimension. So how caste came into force, various caste, subcaste and gotras are there in India. Now what are the challenges? Caste based politics, politics of reservation, untouchable people are ill treated, upper caste and lower caste, regionalization, recent protest of Patel of Gujarat. Next, linguistic diversity. So, various languages, dialect are spoken in India. Challenges to linguistic diversity. So, linguistic provinces, one nation, one language formula, issue of Hindi, also issue of constitutional languages. There are 22 languages, people are protesting to include their language as well. Family diversity, so patriarchal family, matriarchal family, joint family, nuclear family, LGBT community based family. So these are challenges. Right of women, right of LGBT community. Geographical diversity, challenges, regional disparity, tribal rights, political diversity, various kind of political parties, for example, left wing, right wing, regional party, national party. Challenges, so political vendetta, misuse of power, national versus regional parties. So these are some of the challenges. Now why diversity is beneficial? Because of economic growth, social growth, cultural growth, intellectual growth and political growth. So these are some of the points, and at the end you will conclude with MP Follett quotation, which is talking about how diversity is helpful, how it is beneficial. So you will end your essay with this beautiful quotation. So we have written quite an exhaustive essay. We have covered all the dimensions. Follow me on my Telegram channel unacademy_ashpal. Use code AJ01 for Unacademy subscription. I hope this class was beneficial to you. Thank you very much.